Hello everyone. I hope you can hear me. I'm trying to talk a little bit quiet because I'm at a pond right now and I'm looking at a baby duckling who's walking around here and I don't want to scare him. I'm at a huge pond here in Meridian, Idaho I won't say which park, but it's a very large park. Anybody from Meridian or Boise, Idaho will know what park I am talking about. And I am surrounded by duck families. Looks like 2 sets of parents around me and a lot of little ducklings. And so I don't want to scare them off. Anyway, this is the Humor in Chaos podcast. I am Sarah Hauer Nelson. I hope I'm being just barely loud enough so y'all can hear me. This is so cute. They're little squeak, 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 squeak. Chirp, 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 chirp. You're so cute. Anyway, I am a resilience coach, certified life coach, certified art therapy practitioner, and this is the next podcast episode. I have already lost track of how many. You're just going to have to read it somewhere, wherever it's posted. If it's posted anywhere, I don't know, and I don't care. I'm out here on this absolutely gorgeous day. It's just beautiful. But, y'all know me. I have lupus, so I'm keeping my hat on. And I could take my glasses off, but I don't know. I'll leave them on or I'll take them off. I'll decide that. I should not be sitting in the sun. When my family sees this, I'm going to get lectures. But I promise I'm going to be as quick as I can without being too fast. And then I'm going to head home because this is not the right time of the day for me to be out here, but frankly, it's just so beautiful out here today. I just have to take advantage of it. Anyhow, the topic today is, and I should have the book out, but I don't have the book out. Let me grab the book. The topic today is, and I know it, I just don't have it to show you. The topic today is in all circumstances, blog post number 5. So, in all circumstances, that's a tough topic. How does one have joy in all circumstances? And I know that in that blog post, I quote Bible verses and stuff. For any of you who don't know, I am very much a devout Catholic Christian. And read the Bible a few times in my life. And so I go in there and I quote scripture. I want to make sure I moved my foot. I want to be careful I wasn't standing on any bird dung because there's plenty of it out here. Back on target, Sarah. And one of my favorite verses, and I can't remember the reference right now, it's in the blog. It's in the blog online and it's in the blog post in the book, but it's where God talks about talks about looking for the good in the circumstances. What that's really about, from my perspective. As I've said many times, I'm not a theologian. I'm not a priest, minister, anything like that, although I've taught religious education classes for many years. Anyway, what that's really saying is talking about is gratitude, or at least that's what I get out of it, is being grateful for what you do have, being grateful for the good that you do see. Now that sounds really, really hard. So I want to try and take it from a slightly different perspective. So being able to be joyful in all circumstances does not mean denial of pain. And a lot of people think that that's the case, and it's not the case. Here on earth, we are going to suffer pain. Emotional pain, physical pain, one or the other, both at the same time. We can't escape it. If you live, you die. If you live long enough, you're going to get sick. Everyone's going to get sick if they live long enough, if they aren't already sick like me from disease or an accident or something. Yeah, if you live, you die. If you love, you're going to grieve. You're going to lose. Loss is the flip of the coin of love. Whether it's loss from your children growing up and moving away, or relationships, particularly marriages, falling apart. For marriages that last a really long time, or any really close relationship, somebody's going to pass away first. The beautiful thing of that pain of loss, the depth of that grief. Okay, so there's a perfect example right there. So if someone is grieving very, very deeply, and it's extremely, extremely painful. The thing that helped me a lot in grieving my divorce from someone that I loved so very deeply was when somebody said to me, pointed out, and I don't remember who said it first, it's a quote, and I don't remember who said it first, so you can look it up, that the depth of the grief is a direct measure of the depth of the love. And I realized that was absolutely the truth. And so I had gratitude in my heart at the same time as the pain of the grief. So I had joy and the pain of grief simultaneously once I realized that, because then I was able to have gratitude for the time we had together, for the fact that we had these children together, that we did, at least at a time, have a beautiful life, or real blessings. And so that didn't stop my grief. It didn't fix it. It didn't even alleviate it. But it gave me two aspects. So that's another point that I wanted to make, is that there's this idea many people have that you can only have one feeling at a time. That isn't true. We actually mostly have more than one feeling at a time. So you can have a feeling based on pain, and you can have joy. You can have both states simultaneously. I just showed you that, how I did. And it doesn't have to be that. If you've been around people who've been in the process of passing away, people who work in hospice know this. People that work in nursing homes see this. You'll have people that are just angry about it and bitter, and they're, so upset. And then you have people that have a joy about it. And it isn't that their whatever physical process they're going to isn't giving them pain, both physical and emotional pain, because they're leaving family behind. They might be passing because of cancer or something, something very, whatever, it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but you know what I mean. But there are people that also have joy because they have figured out how to be grateful for what they've had, and they've also figured out how to be hopeful for what's next. And that's where it comes from. One of the things that, the lessons that we really learned, and I'm really, oh gosh, this view is so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. I wish you all could be here with me. One of the things that we really get from having this attitude of not or but, B-U-T, or the concept of we can only have one or the other. If you embrace the concept of both, of and, the simple word of and, just by switching out the word but with the word and, that can open up a whole new world to dealing with tough situations. And is such a beautiful word. It leads to acceptance, embracing reality in a healthier way. And I learned this from my coaches from Marriage Helper when I was going through my divorce. It was one of the best lessons that I learned. And I'm so grateful for it. I was on a phone call today with people from Marriage Helper asking questions of a group of us about our experiences with them. And if any of you want to improve any relationship you have, I highly recommend going to Marriage Helper. I do. Not just to stand for marriage, but Okay, I don't know what happened, but my computer quit on me there. Forgot I have to keep moving this, so I hope I can put these two separate recordings together. Where was I? Yeah, I was talking about Marriage Helper. Look them up. www.marriagehelper.com. I highly recommend them. Anyway, another thing that you can learn from incorporating this notion that you can have two experiences at one time, even though they seem opposing. It's sort of like having the concept of love and hate, that people think love and hate are opposites. They're actually not. Love and hate are opposite sides of the same coin. The real opposite of love and hate is apathy, which is having no coin. So you either have a coin that has love and hate both on it, love and hate, or you have no coin at all. That's apathy, no feeling whatsoever. That's the opposite. And so, I think I'm talking too loud. Okay, I'm getting looked at by the dad here. Oh God, he's beautiful. Oh, he's just gorgeous. And the babies are just all over. When I do leave, I'm going to have to very carefully sneak away. Anyway, I have to stay on my thoughts. I'm really enjoying this. What we really learn by practicing this is forbearance. And when I looked up forbearance in the online dictionary, all it did was it went to bank terminology. I'm not talking about bank money, assets, finances, none of that. Loans, no. I'm talking about forbearance as a personality trait. So forbearance is the ability to endure a situation with patience and fortitude, resilience, hope. Hope is a huge component to forbearance. Endurance, which is resilience. And being able to do that, being able to understand, not even if you don't have it, but just understanding that you can have the potential of having joy in the circumstance, even if you haven't found it yet. That's giving yourself grace. That really is giving yourself grace. The gift of grace, the gift of hope, even if you're not there. So what happens when you're in the midst of something massive? And now you understand, okay, I can have joy while I'm going through this painful situation. How can I do that? How can I find joy even if I don't have it? Well, depending on how severe the situation is, if it's really severe, searching for joy, because it is a journey, can be like trying to navigate a jungle when you can't see the path. You don't even know if there is a path. You ever watched the movie Romancing the Stone, and they're in that jungle in Colombia, and they have one machete and they're trying to hack their way through, and at first there's like, where's the path? Is there a path? Where's the path? They kind of form their own by hacking through with a machete. It's sort of like that. So you're picking a direction, and your direction is, I'm looking for joy. But you can't see the path. You can't even see the next step. So you just take your internal mental tools, your machete, and you just start kind of hacking away at the jungle until you can see the first step. Once you see the first step, and it's all up here. Once you see the first step, just knowing that there is a path, now you know what direction you have to go in. So then you can take your machete, your mental tools, and you can hack away to seeing the next step. Now here's the thing, as you look, as you're trying to look to see how far this path is, whether it's a mile or it's 100 miles, you may not know. You may not know how long that path is, but you know which way you gotta go. And you know that joy is where you're going. That's what you're looking for. You can hack away at the next step. And then you can hack away to the next step, and the next, and the next. And as you get used to it, and as you start to recognize things, it'll get easier. But you can only see 1 to 2 steps ahead of you at a time. If you try to see beyond that, you're going to stall yourself on that jungle path, and it's just going to grow again all around you. You've got to stay stalwart and just focus on the step that you're on and the next one ahead of you, and that's it. There's no point in looking behind. There's no point in looking ahead. This is also about being intentional and being at peace with where you're at, so then you can clearly see the next step. So yes, my point is, you can have joy in all circumstances. I want to reiterate, it doesn't mean you don't hurt. That doesn't mean it isn't hard. That does not mean you give in to circumstances. It's just about accepting, understanding the concept that you are not relegated to one situation, to one feeling, to one thought process. You can have both, and it does make the journey better. It does. Okay, I think that's enough, and I think now I'm surrounded by 3 duck families, and they're just so adorable. And you know what? They're an analogy too that I'm sure a lot of people have heard. I've heard it numerous times from multiple sources. What does a duck look like when it's on the water? Let's see if I can turn this around if you all can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but look at them go. You see that? They glide on top, smooth sailing, but underneath, their feet are going crazy. They have 2 states at one time. See? It's everywhere. I'm Sarah with the Humor and Chaos podcast, and I am still looking for other guests for this podcast. So if you know of anyone, or if you yourself have a great story, make sure you shoot me an email at humorinchaos@gmail.com. You can find me at my website. I can't take my eyes off these dice. You can find me at my website at www.humorinchaos.com. And just one more thing I want to say. God, look what's around you. Take the time, take your lunch breaks if you can, after work, early in the morning, I don't care when, especially at this time of year, late spring, moving on into summer here soon. Look around. Get outside, get grounded, look around. What we've been given is such a gift. No matter what circumstance we're living in our life, what we have, the people in our lives, the handiwork around us. There's really no reason not to be joyful. Anyway, take care.